George, he said, I have been on this all day. He said, this is all I've done, that's this. And he said. Yeah.
A signature.
Look
I
at
tried
me.
to Jeff to
That's
tell me
not-
it was him.
I'll be So you can try.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Everybody have a chance to take a look at the minutes from January 10th. Any questions, comments, additions, deletions? There are no changes. We'll approve them as written. Did I get either of those? We get both of them this month? Okay, perfect. Treasurers and clerk reports were received. Department reports. Health Department.
The person that will be replacing them. We're planning on like. Yeah, part-time money. Cover salary, social security, purchase. And we also have. So we did that cycle and then left them there. This person will be trained on that. We don't do this testing outside anymore, but we're giving them a chance to get it in. You know, people use them, we get tons of calls. We're ready to get that. Overtime, I need to. And I did. Times. $3. And we will have, we actually got the vision, like I said. We're getting to talk to her about that. It's just what you guys are going to use them, that we want to use it up. So we're still doing that stuff, getting stuff like the things that we're going to use some of that for salvation. Now. So.
I think that's exactly what we were looking for, right? I mean, that's been the holdup is where,
Correct.
specifically, where's it coming from?
Correct.
Okay.
We need to approve this.
You told her she could advertise, go ahead and advertise for that position, but I thought you were gonna approve it this time. after you
Yes,
saw.
because you wanted to see
Yeah,
where.
that's what it-
This is exactly what we wanted.
Yep,
Yes.
that's exactly what we wanted. Motion.
Yeah, I make a motion to approve this as presented to us today.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any questions?
When is Ben's technically last day? I said that you see retiring date 9/20. He's got a lot of sick days and
He, in this, he's actually, even though this person starts in March, he's technically probably gonna be with them about 2 months. Because he's taking days during the weeks off, a couple days a week. And so technically, August 18th is his last official work day. Then he's using his vacation out to the end of September.
the reason I ask is I know Ben has been there a long time. He has a wealth of information.
And he does, and he said even after the fact, he will help, which I'm hoping with using the COVID money to pay for some of the salaries. For our staff now, since we are doing that, that will put the money in there, if Ben can help after and take some time with this person after he does retire. There's a project or something that he needs to see or help us with.
That's really kind of a different animal, that
It is.
department, so. Okay, this is as long as you're gonna get plenty of knowledge out of Ben.
So is there any kind of a state training program or certification? So they'll go through that.
So the
Okay.
reason why March 20 is a big deal is because the 20, which are not gonna be there that long, but and then going to on the 21st and 22nd. A septic. To the state, but it's a yearly.
Like a cesspool party?
Okay, good.
The 21st and 22nd.
So we're on the same page.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, we've,
Just looking forward, do you, like, you want to bring it forward that, like, if Ben does say when we're addressing it now, do you want to get, like what you're gonna pay him per hour if he comes back and assists?
Will you bring him back as like a part timer?
Consultant or something, whatever you wanna call
it.
And
I
then
just wanted to.
don't we have part-time salary adjust for county employees?
Talking about subject,
Is this separate?
she can figure out where we want to take that, but, at least put that.
50 an hour.
In our thoughts. That they want to
Nothing in there about what he does.
Like that.
it. I've known him a long time and I've run a lot of stuff
we
by
did
him.
set a different way.
Pretty tough, so. Yeah. That's why I was trying to see how many months we had with him, so.
We've actually, over the past year and a half, Ben's been working, taking off 2 days a week, and we did that.
To burn some time.
Yeah, and I'm
Okay.
training with the urban learning law, she's learning a lot for me, so.
It's fine.
And he's only a phone call.
That's good.
Yeah.
As long as we got that kind of,
How would we do that if we were, we've never had a consult? So, we had to help with our, how would we protect that?
General sanitary, is that what he,
Yeah.
1852 is just one. I think 1250.
I mean, by default, that's what, yeah, I would think. That's how we do it unless we've set something out.
We haven't on this one.
Well, we did like for part-time nurse,
Oh, but like,
like for there we had, but no, not for this position. Right.
They were paying, when the little girl was down there, possibly gonna take stems, they were paying her $15 an hour.
actually is right there, part-time help. This is 15 an hour. That says taking temps specific.
Well, that was back in the day,
Right.
but they also paid her 15 for him. When she was supposed to be
We're
learning.
doing that work. We want to modify that and set it at 15.
I think 15 is good compared to what his current rate is.
Second.
I guess I need to make a motion before you second. We had a prior part-time employee at the health department. The salary was set for part-time at 15 an hour.
And she did this work.
And she basically did it in a part-time scenario. So our county ordinance is $12.50 an hour. Given Ben's knowledge, what he's gonna bring, I will make a motion that we set his at 15 an hour if he has to come back. Try.
I'll second.
The nurse.
She was a contracted employee.
Health
paying
department
him-
part-time
Are we
nurse.
paying him part-time or
$25
ten ninety-nine? How will we do that?
He'll have to still be on the, W-2 because of.
What's his title
1099, you just give him 10.
right now?
General Medicare.
So he's 1852 right now.
Yeah. I'd say,
I wouldn't think.
say 15.
W-2 this year.
He's 852 or 1852.
Right, but you know, it's so much. You know, so if you really look at that, you know.
What do you think?
No. 15 and 750, is that much of a difference? Are you gonna put a cap on the number of hours that you plan on doing that? Is it?
If that's what.
Fifteen.
Yeah, I mean, the 25 an hour that you're referencing specifically says nurse in here.
If we do have.
This doesn't have any insurance or. 15, it's only $3 less than what he's making full time and he has to be there every day unless he has. Yeah.
He's not even making 25 an hour now though. Like a raise.
But.
Obviously, no part-time does.
But he doesn't get retirement now either.
He's gonna be getting retirement then. He'll be getting his retirement. Will he not? Yeah.
I wouldn't have any problem with 1750 on
He'll be drawing his.
limit of what? I mean, would it be even 40 hours? So
This is
it's
like.
gonna be for
If
this
we get in
position.
trouble with the septic system, we can't figure it out, or we call it.
If it's K at 15, you had a welcome.
We see, we're talking 8 hours a week. They're trying to get an idea how much we're spending.
Maybe 2 hours a week. You know, like, it's just whenever, what we run into is like, just like we got a dog facility coming in. And it's gonna be a commercial site, but you have to draw up plans and stuff. Well, there's a lot of past
Right.
history, you know, about.
We have the precedent on
That
Hey, it was here for 50 years.
say,
Did we get?
this
Yeah.
is what we're thinking, what do you think of this?
Well, we're trying to get a budget figure, so we know. That's why they're asking.
Yes, give me a little bit of time, talk again, see what we're looking at.
Second.
That doesn't mean it can't be on the road.
I'm like Julie, I don't, he's doing it kind of as a favor to us, I don't. But I mean, that's,
We can talk to you.
yeah.
I'll rescind my motion. We'll just wait and see what happens.
So we'll have it on old business next month.
Yeah, it's not anything that needs to be voted on.
But kind of give us a range of hours we're looking at, so we can pinpoint this down. We just don't wanna all of a sudden get 40 hours and we got, you know, you understand where we're coming from.
You know, where our range is.
I agree.
Very, just like I gave
No,
you.
that's your- Yeah, in an ideal situation, there would be a cap. And we'd know after this many hours, you're gonna come back to us and.
I think we're on the same page. We just have to get there. Okay?
So, you know, we want to come back.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to undervalue Ben either.
Oh, we're not.
we're trying to base on what we've done in the past and stay historical here.
Just don't
And
want it to
we're,
get-
we're likely gonna have a lot of retirements in the next 5 to 10 years, so we gotta be careful about what precedent we set and how we
Yeah.
go about it, right? I mean,
That
it's-
becomes a problem.
Yeah.
Then they say, oh, we did this for the, and then we did that, and then all of a sudden, phones are ringing off the hook, so.
So I understand, we just definitely run it. And, you know. And we'll talk to them and see what these 15 open. See what we say.
Sheriff?
Right, so our daily population for January was 77 males, 16 females average, for an average of 93. And our work release, the daily average is about 29. The compiling numbers, we had 24 average males and 3.97 females. I don't know how that happens, but we're. The staffing update, we have one open road position out of 19. We have 2 communications officers out of 9 positions available. We have one maintenance position open, 7 corrections officers out of 21. And we are 2/3 staff.
Getting better.
We have 1 field officer for community corrections position out of 3, and 1 facility officer out of 1 for work release. And that's where we're at right now. We did do, we were supposed to have a testing for the new deputy. I had a preliminary background with those people, and they didn't qualify. So we're going to be in that position again. These people that were applying were all the way from Indianapolis. And they had to publish their flag and not the others. Now for my department, I'll keep this brief. On February 10th, James A. Cox, age 51 of Buckton, convicted in Dixon County Circuit Court on a child molesting case that originated in 2020. Detective Sergeant Roger Ballard investigated the allegations and sent the charges to the Dixon County Prosecutor's Office for the review. It turned out more of addition for Mr. Cox's arrest. During the week of January 9th, trial conducted and at the end, the trial was deliberated for approximately 15 minutes before ultimately settling on a unanimous guilty verdict. On February 10th, 2023, Mr. Cox received a sentence of 38 years on the child molesting charge and an additional 10 years for being a repeated sexual offender. I want to give kudos to Sergeant Ballard for his great work. Kudos to the Dixon County Prosecutor's Office, especially Sharon Warren, who was the one who was the lead prosecutor on that case. Mike Bird, stepping into the investigator's role for the prosecutor's office, a new position that you guys allowed to be created, strengthen that case and the conviction happened. And also thank you to Michael Cochran for the great work he did seating that jury. Because of him, we got a 48-year sentence on a known predator. So very, very proud of my guy, very proud of my department, working with them. Any questions or concerns?
I do have one question on the vehicles that were, what's your luck on getting those, or how many of those?
I put in for cars, they've not went to the line. I need to send an email again to make sure that I'm not been bumped off the line.
But you're still up in the air more or less.
They say that I'm on the list, but I've not made it to the line to actually get made. So what I'm looking at is like Bloomington Ford. Here's what car they can get. Whenever I got approved for to get the cars, 100 of those have already been picked up by other departments all over the United States. And once they do this run of cars, Ford does, they're not gonna do another run of police package cars for the year.
How many did you get order in total?
I put in for 11, I got the money for 10. So
The cars are SUVs.
SUVs, they don't do cars anymore.
Okay.
Dodge isn't doing cars anymore. The luck I had with Dodge right now, I wouldn't even buy it for my in-laws.
There. That was off the record.
Yeah, leave it at that. Any other department reports? Time for old business. Mike Cochran.
Thank you. I'm here today to review the request for last time I was probably perfectly prepared and technically determined insurance substitution that happened better. Let's get what these are administrative. Basically, I provided you with a listing of the job description. It's more into a full-time position in reality. You can see all the there's tasks that she is responsible for, and they're probably things that aren't even listed on here. Most importantly, she is face of the office of how now where she can handle the issues that day-to-day case managers don't have to try to deal with those. Turn to, you look on page 2. Page 2 is the housing initiative. Then, 4D office is funded in such a way that we can actually go through and have this paid for with no cost to the county at this point. If we look at the annual pay on this, we've broken it down with the FICA per health insurance cost, and the total for this job, which is $59,533 and some change. $5,000. The HUD grant pays for. There's already included in the budget $15,600. Of the $59,533.28, the state would reimburse $39,291. So that reimbursement is money that's not out of the budget or out of pocket. So then we already have budgeted money. So in essence, what we have is a total of $18,691.96 that we have. Additionally, we have a line item that we can use. It's incentive money. It's never used. First time I've ever had to use it is with this piece of food. Quarterly, that amount is $5,000. So on a yearly basis, that would take care of that expense.
So going forward, even in the 2024, 25, 26, you're gonna be able to fund that position that way.
We're gonna be able to fund it that way now. I was just discussing. Question might come up if you have periodic pay raises. And you can see the 5,000 quarterly, it might fit where we have to come elsewhere over and above the 18,000 or 18,600. But it should be noted that we could ask for additional HUD grant money. Last year our HUD grant was reduced to basically we were unable to find it each for about $2,700 that we have to have specified usage for. So it's not like you get that money and just can misuse it for anything. So we would obviously work diligently to seek that money in reimbursement, that money back. So from our perspective, it wouldn't cost the county any additional money at this point.
One question, light on your health insurance.
Okay. So that turns it into about health insurance costs, you get 2/3 reimbursement back. 2,500 light, 2/3 reimbursement of that.
$800.
So you
1,500
$800,
still.
which would still be covered under
Can still afford it.
yes.
I just don't want to go in and when this is all said and done, we're like, oh, that, I wanted you to know.
Appreciate you.
Or so.
And this part-time position's already in this budget. It's not like all we're doing is changing from part-time to full-time. We don't have two different lines going somewhere.
Well, we've got two different lines. Part of it's coming from the hub grant and part of it's in his budget. So
In the 4D budget though.
yes, in the 4D budget.
And that's what's happened over the years since I've been in office is that this has been just a kind of rotating. Non-aging rotation of this job being. Open, just because of part-time, well, you know, part-time job, the expectation is. Part-time job, and a lot of those people use it as a stepping stone to something else. And I can also, tell you, Andy does a great job for our office. She does remember something out of her office. Not everybody does that when they start. She has.
And since the move, I've not been over there. She's more or less the person everybody talks to
Yeah.
at first,
At
or
first, yeah.
so,
The way it's set up now, yes.
so who does it when she's not there?
Well, I mean, we've got, of course, Kim Shaker works from our side of the office, and she would handle that to a certain extent. But if she's not there, then it was falls to the administrator or whoever's available to do it.
So it takes them from their job
Correct.
to do.
How often is she there then? Is part-time?
Is there approximately 20 hours a week? 24.
Is it like on a scheduled time or is it just?
Schedule, I think, yeah.
8 to 2:30. Monday through Thursday.
I'll make a motion that we move the part-time into full-time and fund it out of, what'd you say that was? Out of his incentive money.
A motion, is there a second?
Second.
What was that?
Jeff got it first.
Got it. All right, we have a motion, a second, any other discussion?
What would be the full-time? Is it from like 8 to 5 or something then? Is-
8 to 4, and then that would be 5 days.
And everybody has a 30-minute paid lunch, is that how it works, or is it? Yeah. Any other questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 7-0. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
What is the effective date? Is it gonna go full next day or Monday?
I think it's between Friday and Monday, that doesn't matter to you.
Monday starts new payroll.
Yes, it does. Perfect. Perfect. Thank you.
George Ballard?
I didn't say anything.
The Windstream and Frontier Spectrum. Being on the cables. Those is doing. The bills by there. Far old. Early March, Duke Energy system, they said the far old. Back on 13th February. Dump trucks in one day. They're taking out 309 dump trucks to the county highway department, the concrete project. So that's, they bought a lot out there and they're really good on this, great grant. Also, we were able, remember that there used to be a building there that, I think Good Samaritan, little bed since uses for a little while, that's a clinic. It's right next to the drive, I don't remember that or not, I tore it down. Well, they had a fence put up, separate that. It was 120 feet, so we were able to give that to the county highway department. So it's going to be needed. And this save a little money, give that to the county highway department. They can use those for the new animal shelter. They'll have there and save a little money. Try to recycle some things. They started yesterday and finished up yesterday, the stabilization of the ground. Basically, they use a truck that's got a special made driver underneath it. And they put Portland cement in it. And they go down about 16 inches into the ground, till that in literally. And then they compact it and they do it again. They do it about 4 times. And once that dries and hardens, it be just like concrete. But the guy that worked at Choyola when they were building that, that's exactly the same thing they did on all their parking lots and underneath their building out there. And good success with that. They said it's kind of the standard. Now when you build a large area of concrete, they practice that. So what happened? Right today, that's on that brand. Very large ones are doing action. Piers where they're going to drill down about 12 feet. 500 of those. And those would be piers, concrete floor will actually settle under about 400 will be on the jail. Another 100 will be in the sheriff's office in that area. That should be about, actually, it may start actually next week. And our hoping by March, they're going to start pouring foundations for the site. So we move right along.
Thank you, George. Any other old business? Sherry Smith?
Morning, council member.
Morning.
So, first of all, it's good to be back and on this side. And, so I've come today to ask you, to allow me to, put in a first deputy in the clerk's office, but in my particular case, instead of a first deputy, I'm asking for an administrative assistant. I would like for this person to remain in the union. And, I'm not setting precedent as in a few other offices. And so, as some of you know, it's been quite a while since there's been a first deputy in that office. And so I would like to try to put some structure back, in there, as far as, the other side of the hall, if you will. And also someone that, I can work with, and can step in for me when I may be out of the office. And just like basically the other elected officials have done, I had asked Mike to email you a copy of the job description. And I hope you had a chance to take a look at that. So I'm here today to see if this is possible. And if you have any questions that I can.
So you want first deputy pay,
Yes.
but not a first deputy? And then in the union,
Yes.
and where's this would be a new
So I
union?
would go from within the office, a current second deputy, into this position.
But this is not in the union contract. Right,
That I can't answer. There is.
for that office?
Not for that office.
That's why I'm asking.
Not for that office.
I-
On the highway, I think it was done. May have been done at the health department. and,
I didn't have admin.
well, did you have a first deputy?
You know, I had sanitation, but
I think it kind of comes back to what we dealt with last month, where I think first step was, I believe you need to talk to the union and see how they feel about it, because I don't want to go against contract that we have already got established. And see, because I believe last month they had a union meeting to vote or something. They talked about it at least. So I don't want to go against what, I know it's happened in the past, but I wasn't here during the past, so I think any new positions, I think it should be cleared with them.
Specifically union position.
Yeah, union positions at a non-union pay and all that needs to be run through them first. And then, well, that's my opinion.
Have you talked to the union?
Yeah, I don't know what you guys did last month, but it's kind of the same scenario as the way I'm seeing it. And I don't know what happened with it. I just know it's not on here anymore, so. I think that the first step to go that route. Just my opinion.
Yeah, I think we definitely need unions, input on this 100%, since it's a union position and the members in the union need to. Seems to be a sticking point a lot of times, so I definitely would like to clear that.
I'm just not, for everybody, kind of what's the, there's, this position can be replaced, the first deputy position that exists, is that how that works? Why wouldn't I don't know why somebody wouldn't, what's the disadvantage to them? They wouldn't want to leave the union. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it the job security issue too? Like that first deputy pay or first deputy position can be replaced by the elected official at any time. Is that right?
Yes, and as I explained, I believe I put it in the job description as well. When I leave as clerk, that the person that is in the existing admin position would automatically fall back to second deputy. And then it would be up to the next clerk to decide if they were going to keep that person in that position. And they could remain in there, or then they would come and ask.
I mean, it sounds just like a first deputy's position to me, though. That's, which we already have. I mean, that's the downfall of taking an appointed role. I mean, been there, done that. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be argumentative, but it sounds like we're circumventing the first deputy process. I definitely want union input on this. I feel like we need union input on this.
And I don't know, is having a first deputy, is that by statute? I mean, if,
They talked about that in the union meeting the other day, and they said that it is that an elected official. Isn't that what they said the other day? I can't remember.
So a first deputy serves at the
Pleasure.
pleasure of the elected.
That's correct.
So if.
Sounds like this one will too, though. What you're wanting.
That's what I'm.
This is true,
Yeah.
but in this particular case, they fall back to the second deputy position, they would not leave the
But
employment of the county.
will there be a job will be eliminated or not filled? Or will you backfill the position that the administrative assistant's going into? They'll absorb the new duties, so there's no new, okay.
Yes, so they'll be doing their pay at second deputy, which second deputy pays for drawing now, plus the new duties that would be added.
Question. There seemed to be a problem because you've been in a few of the positions there in the courthouse, filling first deputy positions because they have to leave the union. Is this becoming an issue?
So,
That's all.
I never gave it a thought to actually ask for a first deputy. There, in this particular office, there's no reason to add another body. So I don't want to do that. And I also don't want to I want the experience from the people that are in the office now. And utilize them, to help me also. And so they're not gonna leave the security, if you will, of the union.
You actually want a new position established in that office.
Yes.
Established.
Well, reestablished, because on the salary ordinance, you have a first deputy listed.
But you're not wanting a first deputy.
You don't, it has nothing to do with first deputy, actually.
In lieu,
It sounds,
It's a new position.
It would be in union.
way I'm hearing it, the first deputy that's a union member. They get the benefits of this side and the benefits of that side, so that's gonna be it. That's gonna be.
I think we definitely need union input on this.
So is it a state statute to have a first deputy?
I don't believe so.
Probably a state statute that she's allowed to have a first deputy, but it's not a state statute.
Allowed.
You have to have it.
Okay, well, I'm just,
No different than chief deputy. They haven't had one
I
forever.
guess what I'm asking is it a statute that if she wants one, she gets one? Like that's so you see what I mean? I don't know if it's the same as in the sheriff's department or if that's elected office wide. And again, it's not, I'd like clarification on that to know for sure.
and then are we gonna start to restructure how we do things? I'm just kind of trying to wrap my head around all this. You know what I mean? The first deputy's gonna go away and this is what we're coming to.
No more first deputies anywhere.
That's what I'm curious about. Where are we headed? Are we gonna, on a budget time or how are we gonna restructure? That's just me throwing a question out. I don't know.
That's,
Cause I was always under the opinion that we always had a first deputy. That's the way it always was.
so I can't.
And I understand, but you see where I'm coming from? I'm looking from this point on, you know, when we go to budget, what's gonna be expected?
I mean,
You know. Are we gonna change the rules?
And she could be because I don't know that, other than the job security aspect, I don't know that there's, with us having the same insurance now, I don't know what the other benefits, union benefits are. I'm just wondering, and Jason could probably speak to it, but if there's a way to have for you and her to have an agreement that that position's gonna be open and that she can have that.
Go back
to
to
that second
merited
deputy
position.
whenever she chose, and then if it's job security that she's worried about, then
There is no, I won't replace any.
she's not planning on backfilling.
Go ahead of position.
I don't know if you really say it. So let me say this. So for what, 40, 50 years, we've had the same number of employees in the offices. And so 40 years
money
ago,
for the deputy, yeah.
90% of what was done in the courthouse was done by hand. So you needed all of these people. 10% was done by computer. Now we're in the 21st century. 10% is done by hand, 90% or more is done by computer. We have not changed the staffing in these offices. And in some cases, we have added people. And what I'm doing is I'm not adding any staff and I'm not eliminating any staff.
Reshuffling the deck. But my point is, I'm just trying to figure out from this point on, how are we gonna run all these offices? That's a bigger question besides just yours.
Then every other department can come in and say,
All my first deputies are union now.
Yeah.
They're-
That's what's gonna happen.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
That contract won't be renegotiated for another 2 years.
Right.
We do have issues with that contract now that need to be fixed. But,
Is it amendable?
we can do a letter of agreement if some issue. But we, across all of our public sector contracts, we were. It is a power to discipline. They shouldn't be. I don't know, I don't like to get that kind of from you, but the admin assistant system, I don't know under what circumstances, there's a reason. I can only, my gut instinct is that first deputy is the first. Moving numbers, but you have a contract in place that.
So I think in the model of efficiency, this isn't the meeting right now. There's more questions that need answered. So I'm gonna make a motion, we table this.
Second.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sherry. We have a motion.
We have a motion and a second to table. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
7-0. Jay. Or opposite. Who seconded?
Yeah.
Mike did. All right, Andy Schaefer?
I'm just asking if it replace on it vehicle with the vehicle.
Numbers,
But
got numbers?
it's 41,490.
And just tell you what we're doing in the ARP. Vehicles, whenever he gets, that's kind of why I asked that question, is how many vehicles he's getting. Some of those vehicles are still operable. They may not be good emergency vehicles, but they're still good for, you don't have to get to the courthouse in 30 seconds or whatever else. They're good for your uses. That's what we're doing, see what he cycles out. And take, because I like, Cleveland said that, talk to the others, because they're in charge of vehicles, of cycling from his department to some of the other departments that we're trying to, that, because there's been several asks for vehicles, and some of his vehicles are probably good for the junkyard, but some of them are probably usable for other purposes, but not emergency purposes.
You anticipated and had this in the budget, wasn't figured out that you was gonna need something for 2023, maybe? You didn't budget this at all, didn't anticipate?
We have the money in the edit to help with that, and I don't believe that the sheriff's department has any trucks, and there's a lot of times Andy probably does need a truck instead of a car.
What he has anymore.
We already checked into that.
Yeah.
I mean, well, kind of what I was saying to do is like, because my truck's a two-wheel drive, I had a four-wheel drive, but my definition would be a snowplow. They don't look good on.
So do we have edit money? Is that what I'm hearing? It's gonna cover the whole thing? Commissioners are gonna spend edit money on that? We're paying. for it. He needs it. Yeah, we're getting a snowplow. What line do we have in the edit that this was
Something
coming?
they go to them to get approved on the first before we approved it.
I mean, they're shaking their heads, yes.
Me Either.
Where's that?
Well, I mean, if we vote,
Wouldn't even be-
3.17 as we sit today. This is what we need to fund the budget, so when we get our March and April, we will have the budget funded plus the new truck. So then April through December's draws will stockpile for next year.
It's a lot of.
This is what we received a month.
I'm good with it out of edit. Questions down that end?
What was it?
We're not funded out of edit. I don't have a problem in the world with
Well,
it.
I don't have a problem with that. If that's edit, that's not.
Edit budget, the commissioners have more control over the edit plan and what goes into that. And so typically whenever we have a one-time expenditure come up, actually we've used edit funds in the past to help,
Ambulance. police department.
ambulances to buy vehicles, which we've tried to keep up with that as much as possible. So, anytime that we can do it off property tax dollars and on their budget, that maintains flexibility for us as a council with the other funds that we have.
And the edit fund is flush right now to cover this, according to the numbers we were just presented.
Just
Wendy,
background for why we're saying edit.
Wendy. Would that have to be advertising or line already in there that could come out of.
There's an equipment line in there.
There's an equipment.
Yeah.
There is,
Does that include the snowplow or is that
well, there's
Snowplow extra?
EMS equipment,
snowplow be extra on the truck?
and we could just move from one of these lines
Okay,
into
can
a
it be priced
vehicle
snowplow?
line. Highway equipment has 257,000.
What's the dollar figure you just gave us on that truck?
41,490.
Somebody else wrote it down, apparently. I will make a motion to approve the expenditure of 41,490 out of edit dollars for the purchase of a truck for Andy's department.
But you're not approving an additional appropriation. You just want it moved from one of the other lines.
The edit line. If they're shaking their head, yes.
Do we have any specifics on this truck? I mean, brand, is it 2,500 or
It's just a GMC pickup, it's a work truck.
is it 2,500, 1,500 or
What's that?
what model or any of that or?
The 3/4 ton or half ton? It's a half ton.
But it can still handle a
Four-wheel
power.
He's not gonna be plowing roads with it.
So we are, keep that market.
Absolutely.
Is it like kept, is that the truck that would be kept around here somewhere? I'm not sure where he's called.
Yeah, my.
The park on the lots up there. Going to, with solid waste, we put plow on a half ton. All that truck wanted, so we did purchase a 3/4 ton Dodge and it just get over, so it's just a thought, even though we were just plowing little parking lots and our sites with that truck, that the half ton, well, we had to put some weight in the back to even make it, feasible to do that. So, but that was an older half ton pickup, not like you're gonna buy a brand new one. So just something to think about, you want to do right. So you want to make sure it's gonna do what you want to do, Andy.
I think it'll be minimal usage on the snowplow too.
Yeah, it would be.
Especially for
It's handy.
All right. We have a second?
Mike.
Okay.
We have a motion and a second to approve the new line and edit, basically, right? To approve the new line and edit for purchase of a vehicle for the courthouse. I can't remember what your title is exactly. Safety and director. What all is it? What all's on your card, business card?
You got two.
I know what you do, I just don't know what your title is. Maintenance, okay, maintenance, safety. Director, I guess. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
There's a couple of forms here. I am gonna read this one on the public page. It was sent to the commissioner from, you guys. Well, I found a disparity in the way the sheriff's office can be able to pay the holiday pay when an officer works the actual holiday. I'm asking to be able to fix this, make it more fair for our employees who are required to be away from their families on holidays. County handbook and the state's holiday schedule is mainly designed for Monday through Friday workers who work 8 AM to 4 PM. Sheriff's office and jail next to Monday through Friday workers, and also 7 days a week workers who work 24 hours a day due to schedule. For example, in December 2022, Christmas Day, or December 25th, fell on a Sunday. And handbook shows that holiday is Monday, December 26th. Because we are a 24/7 operation, we have deputies, corrections officers, and dispatchers who work December 25th, but didn't receive the extra holiday workday pay. This doesn't seem appropriate not to be paid extra for working the actual day. Whereas in the future, when a holiday falls on a weekend, such as this past Christmas Eve and Christmas, that the sheriff's office employees that actually work the holidays are paid overtime pay for the actual holiday and not the observed day. We would request that our Monday through Friday workers continue to observe the same holiday schedule as the rest of the county workers. In the event that the employee is scheduled to work both the holiday and the actual observed day, they would only receive pay for one day, either the holiday pay or the actual, not both days. In 2023, I found 3 examples that just, you gave us, January 1st, on Sunday, so the employees who worked that day received no extra pay. However, the people who worked on the second day, I would ask that we be able to determine, who worked January 1st and see that they are paid for the holiday pay. Also, Good Friday is another day, April 7th. The observed day. I think that, basically what amounts to this. One day or another, because, you know, Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, I was out there, so was Captain Borchelt working the road because why would they want to be away from the families if they weren't going to get the extra holiday pay? So,
But the people that work the 26th got it.
yeah. The observed day, whatever it is. So,
I think that definitely.
Your holiday pay is only is if you work the holiday. It's not
4
guaranteed.
hours. I get 4 hours.
4 hours.
Yeah,
So is this a salary ordinance amendment or is this like, is there an ordinance out there on this?
I think that they'll put it in your SROs or in our employee manual or something. Just an addition that the sheriff's department will be paid either the observed or the actual holiday.
Does this happen in EMS as well?
Well, the EMS, they all get
They all get it.
holiday pay, whether they work it or not.
Well, there's some areas that is the case.
Yeah.
You just get guaranteed 17 holidays.
And
And
that's,
that's the case. It doesn't matter whether you get it unobserved or not.
It was
If you're
that
only
way.
getting it when you're working it, then we
It was
need to
that
make
way
it
here
this
when I
right.
came on the council.
I'm sorry.
It was that way here when I came on the council.
File for officers, like say, it's like this past January 2nd, which fell, first fell on Sunday. We had to figure that was, we would have had it where people could have got paid the 4 hours for January 1st. They would have got it was a total of $355. So we're not talking, copious amounts of money.
Yeah, and we have a line for holiday pay, right?
the overtime line.
Yeah, we're not asking.
Oh, it's trying to clean up. It's not separate anymore? Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, it makes it harder
Well,
for you to.
if you're
get
working
people
the
on that
holiday,
day.
deserves the holiday pay.
Yeah, I don't have any problem with that. And I don't know if that's if the commissioners need to take action on that to have it in the handbook or if it's all you. It's all you. Okay.
What holidays are without
So-
Good Friday?
I think it's, you don't know specific holidays here, Bruce. I think you just, hold on. If the observed holiday, if it's a Monday through a Friday employee, that's not who we're talking about. We're talking about our 24/7 employees. So we need to clarify that correctly. This is for our 24/7 employees. And it's when the holiday doesn't fall on the observed holiday the county has adopted is the correction that we need to be made here.
So Good Friday, nobody's gonna get it unless they work it.
That is correct. Right. Well, the Monday through Friday is a different scenario, right?
Christmas Eve falls, on a Sunday this year,
Right,
and it's observed on the 22nd.
right.
Just the holidays that were observed, not on the actual
In
holiday.
the
So we're correcting the,
contract Employee manual.
because the commissioners will set the list of holidays and their observed days.
Yes.
And those don't always align with the actual holiday because it's a weekend. Basically, we're talking about weekend holidays.
Right.
That's it.
Basically.
Yeah, the weekend holidays.
So you get one or the other, they don't.
I don't know what the council needs to take action on though.
I think it's-
Other than shaking our head, yes. I mean, it's not like an ordinance or anything that.
Right.
You just aren't gonna pay anything that you guys don't approve.
We agree to pay the 24/7 employees for the actual holiday, not the
Yeah.
observed holiday. Agreed?
One or the other. Yep.
And then the ones that are working the observed holiday that are 24/7 employees are not gonna get that holiday pay. You need to make sure they're clear on that, because my phone's gonna blow up. You quit paying me and this is an observed holiday. So, and we're only talking about the 24/7 employees. And we all understand what a 24/7 employee is. Yep. Okay,
We're only talking about the holidays that have been adopted.
correct.
Yes.
That is correct. And then the ones that fall on the weekends. Okay. I think this council is good with it.
Okay.
All right, the next thing is the, project owners representative. I've been talking with the attorneys, the commissioners, and the auditor, and kind of got to this point, they're all kind of behind it. They're looking for an amendment, basically, for us to continue to use George as project owner's rep. And it's citing be $500 per month until the end of the construction of the detention center. Currently, the stipend is, or currently, the project owner's rep is paid out of the soft costs for the jail project. So basically, that's what we're looking at, just that amendment. And, estimated construction phase will be 92 weeks from January 1st this year.
And this cleans up a W-2 1099 issue.
However, we pretty much cut monthly out. We're just paying bi-weekly now.
Uh-huh.
So that'd be $250 a pay. So that's gonna be an extra $500. Because 26 pays instead of 24.
Okay.
So instead of 6,000, it's gonna be like 6,500.
And that's there though, and it's a stipend,
It'll go on his paycheck
as a stipend.
as a stipend, yeah.
Oh, and this is all within the rules of,
I don't see any
Just-
reason we cannot do it.
Just one I'm sure it's the easy answer, but your duties now are usually 8 to 4, whatever your time is. The other duties are above those hours.
I do apologize. We just changed our payroll from monthly, the first time in 20 years to bi-weekly, so I'm still learning the lingo, learning the brand of payroll.
Did that.
They were monthly.
It brings.
This is a new software.
They got paid every other week, but they,
overtime is monthly.
Yeah.
and all that. they just-
Now everything's cleaned up every 2 weeks.
Gotcha.
Okay,
If you worked overtime
yeah,
January
okay.
1st, you wouldn't get it.
They didn't get paid monthly, but they got paid every week, but the extra.
Correct.
Yeah, got it.
So it'll be paid out of the jail.
You're getting really good at that, Bruce.
Payroll out of that jail.
I guess we could set up a line for it. I don't think there are any restrictions on it.
Okay, okay, yeah, so you
All of it.
set up a line.
So you're satisfied?
I'm satisfied if she says I can do it.
And that's less than what, is that?
It's a
I
deduction.
thought it was.
He's taking on a full-time role too, and we're satisfied both jobs are gonna get done effectively. George just doesn't sleep, I don't think. I see him everywhere.
I should get a stipend for putting up.
We all should.
All right.
Yeah,
I just want to go on the record that I agree with this move because we're so far into this project, trying to bring in on a new owner's rep is gonna be damaging to the progress that we've made. So I'm glad we could get this worked out, because I think there was fear that we weren't gonna get this worked out. So I'm glad that everybody says this can be done. So yeah, I'm good with it.
I'll make a motion that we do the stipend at $250 per pay for the remainder of the jail project.
It's about 18 months for hoping that, and hopefully that'll be this.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any questions, comments? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? 7-0. Scott Martin?
Good morning. I'm here to ask the council, our GIS director is resigning, and I'm here to ask approval.
So anytime an open position like this, we have to give a head nod to say, yes, continue, or we would have the option to eliminate a position. Obviously, the GIS is a very important position for our county. So.
Mike had sent an email to the group regarding a search committee. Is that the plan, or is that?
Talked with Mike when I found out, our GIS director was resigning. And just to see what the steps are.
All he needs from us today is a yes or a no, not a vote of any sort. So
I'm assuming you're comfortable with that, with being part of the, okay. Cause I mean, it's incredibly important that they're all able to work together. And I imagine you have a fairly small pool of people that are qualified to do yeah.
I think the council's on board with you moving forward, replacing that position. I think we have to have agreed. Thanks, Scott. We're not gonna yell at you.
Is this you, Wendy, forego the $1,000 less pay and new hires or somebody else? Oh, you are. Got it.
I know the county has a 40-day probationary period. We noticed that for the first 6 months, everybody gets 48 cents less than that. Next 6 months, 24 cents, which comes up to $1,000 a year. And I talked to Mike and Wendy, and they said he'd bring it to you guys. And I would thought about just doing it for the 40 probationary days. But Wendy said it's a lot easier to do away with it completely. So just do away with that salary ordinance. It says $1,000 a year, they're gonna be left out, the new hires. That's all over the county.
Here's why that came into play to start with, is one, there was a complicated system before that was
The 5-year phasing.
yeah, it was I never did really figure it out. Yeah, it dropped down. And then it went to this, for the reason is, if I'm starting at whatever department, have no clue what I'm doing, I'm making the same thing.
As a 20-year person that knows exactly what they're doing.
So, and there's been times that $1,000 been waived if somebody comes in with experience and knows what they're doing from day one. But I see it as still a good thing because of the non-experience. If most of these jobs in the county, it's gonna take you a year to get up to the speed of what you're really supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Compared to, it's not fair to the guy that's sitting right next to me that's showing me what to do.
Making
And
the
we're
same
making,
amount of money.
we're making the exact same thing and I'm going, now what button do I hit next? And what do I do here? And that's why that is in there. And I think it's still a good practice.
Getting paid the same though, man.
They're actually making less than the EMT, or advanced EMT. And a paramedic goes to a lot more training. So. It's that way with, anything else in county, like I live. Hire somebody that's been a backlog for over 20 years.
Well, on those circumstances where somebody comes in with 20 years experience, that's when the department head needs to come in and say, we're hiring this person that's got 20 years experience. Can we waive the $1,000?
We have waived it.
And we've waived it.
It's in the contract, that's contractual.
We've did it many times.
You can't waive something in a union contract.
That was most appropriate, the agencies, which I have been, in detention. Contract says that they get 50 cents less and 25 cents less, which I know is a 48 before. But if they would have to, we could do a letter of agreement that would say that they could ask for it, we just have to be senior mandate.
Do you see what I'm, is if I start working as a backhoe, that first year, I'm probably gonna tear up more than I'm gonna fix. So, and the guy sitting next to me that goes out there and can butter his bread with that bucket is, we're night and day difference on what we're doing here.
Yeah, so the problem that you have is also, I mean, I'm not trying to be rude, but the problem that you have also is that these are $17 to $19 an hour jobs. And I mean, the 48 to 24 makes a big difference. Like some of the bigger jobs, like the trade skill jobs, you're talking 30, 40, $50 an hour jobs. They're the ones that has the pay scale. I mean, when we sit down and interview, now Nick, but when we sit down and interview people, that 48 cents means a lot to try to retain people. I mean, I know it's just hard to retain people. You might not think 48 cents to a lot of us is very much, and it's not, but it is to a lot of people. So you're talking 17 and $19 an hour job.
But are these experienced people that are coming in?
Most of them that come in, that us, I mean, yeah, they've got CDLs, so I mean, they are.
Yeah, nothing wrong.
Then that's
Generally.
That's what I'm saying, if we do have that agreement with the union, then that would, then whenever you do hire somebody that has experience, you can come in and say, this person has experience.
They can't hire anyone without the CDL.
There's exceptions, but that's how.
But you know what I'm saying, if you have somebody that comes in, that has, not just because they have their CDLs, because if I get my CDLs today, it doesn't really say that I have experience tomorrow. It means I passed the basic.
We won't get them that.
No.
But I'm just saying, if I got them today and I come in to get a job tomorrow, it doesn't show I have experience. If I come in today and say, I've been driving a truck for 10 years or 20 years or whatever else, that shows I have experience. And then that's when you can come in and say, we've hired somebody, this person has experience. And then we'll listen to their experience, and then we go, yeah, we can do that. Instead of somebody coming in this is their first time in a job, doing this job, coming in and saying, okay, now what do I need to do?
Well, I understand, maybe somebody's been there a while, and then somebody new comes in, makes the same thing. But when I hired in the county 36 years ago, everybody made the same thing.
Yeah,
So
and
it was just the way it was.
And then somebody brought an argument to the council that that's not right, so it got changed. Yeah. I don't know.
I do see both sides of it, but I'm saying that is why it came, and I hear from people that say that it's not fair that I'm training somebody how to do this job, and we're making the exact same thing. That's what
I was going by what Dave said about, he says he had trouble, telling them.
Well, we're looking at those numbers too, and that's not an accurate statement.
Yeah, that is not.
No. I'm looking at the EMS numbers right now. That's not an accurate statement. Especially when you consider overtime. Yeah. Because it's not taking any extra away, right? I mean, it's just 1,000, so I don't know. I mean, in the sheriff's department, we made an exception because how many positions? You said you got 7 corrections officers positions open. I've not seen that ever happen at the highway department, has it? I mean, you got people waiting in line to get the jobs typically or not?
No,
You don't have, you've got positions open?
not right now, but the problem that you have is that CDLs is a pain to, they changed everything in the state and
I
LDAP. and all
remember
that.
April used to be downstairs.
Mhm.
April Graver, her husband tried to get a job at the county, when he found out he had to get CDL, and he went in to check on it, he changed his mind.
It's tough. It is tough today.
Before he got his CDL.
Jeremy, we win, thank you. Months. It was a little while before we could fill all positions. That's the only thing that, we're thinking is that. I see what you guys are saying. I mean, I see, like Jay said, but the problem is that to retain people, that 48 cents means a lot when you tell someone right off when you interview them that, hey, we're going to get over this for the first 6 months. I guess it's a lot.
I don't think we're withholding anything. You just tell them this is your opening salary. In 1 year, you're getting a raise. It's not withholding. It's,
Not withholding,
this is your salary your first year.
How difficult is it to get like a letter from the union to get that to even pay? I mean, is that, we have to come in several meetings or?
So along the lines of the, director had the ability to waive that.
I'd like to hear from the members of the union because I have on this, and it's always the other argument. So
Yeah, what's the city do?
we have longevity at the center.
You have longevity pay, that's what.
I don't see a reason to move on it.
Huh?
I don't see a reason to move on it.
Wendy told us we had to come for you guys, and then have to change the salary.
That's, I just don't want to change it to. They were talking about saying, oh, okay, you're gonna make 48 cents less for 40 days. I don't wanna have to do 40 days.
Yeah.
On all new employees.
Hmm?
I'm sorry.
40 days is long enough to learn a job.
Right.
No.
Not even close.
And
So you either one way or another. I don't want to change it.
Leave it like it is.
There's no motion on the.
I'm not seeing any will to change it.
only thing if you do have to have agreement is for the waiving that not the department head could waive it because I think it should become for commissioners and us both, or one of, at least us, because we're the one paying.
Yeah, they can't just waive it without us
Yeah, you don't-
having it in the budget.
You don't want to put that, I mean, heck, I'm the superintendent, but you and I would say the power in one person's hand because one person's gonna have a different philosophy and it's gonna.
That means you have to,
Yeah.
come you guys each time you hire somebody had experience.
Yeah,
That's what's happened in the past.
yeah,
You come in here and ask her, we,
it's happened before. Yeah,
That just, yes, Grant, is that jeopardize the ability to hire someone, they have to wait?
Man, I'm actually, if that's what we want to do, to get the union to write a letter of agreement, then I have no problem for you and saying, hey, this.
Yeah, and that's not the superintendent doesn't have the power to waive it. They have the power to request a waiver, right? You don't,
Want that writing,
yeah.
is that, you guys don't feel as I do that, position could flip flop. Don't want that.
Are you leaving?
No, but you just don't want that power.
All right, we can move on.
yeah.
Thanks, Kenny. We already did the health department, sanitarian salary ordinance amendment number 1.
Already.
We make it February.
Thanks, Bruce. This is for the chief deputy. How many deputies do you have, including the sheriff's position? I'm only counting 18 is what I'm asking.
What?
Maybe I'm on.
Yeah.
You're good at this.
Well, but I know
I know.
you're not gonna have a captain, you're not gonna have a sergeant.
You don't-
So you're gonna be less 2. You're 19. with
So we need to add one to the patrolman though, don't we?
Well, what I'm looking
Don't you get the security of 2?
Right, but there's only 18 on it.
So George is one of those.
He's on here
And me.
and you. There's only 18 positions on here.
How many patrol?
Yeah, so.
That includes 2 courthouse deputies.
That's 11.
So I got me.
So you're wanting to cut staff?
So I got me, I got George, I got Deborah, I've got Coomer, Roger Ballard, Fisher. Yeah, those are
7.
smalls,
Oh, small.
he's not starting, then we got UV. Then we're at,
I think what happened is we cut, but he didn't add one to the patrolman. He pushed one back to patrol, basically.
yes,
He took a captain up to deputy and he took a
Yes.
sergeant back to patrol.
Yes, you're,
So you're only 19.
so it's 10. on the-
That is correct.
Yes,
You're
I
welcome. Bruce.
did not move. You are correct.
So that's on record, right? She said that. You guys heard it.
There's your headlining.
Yeah, right there. Derek was correct. 10 years on the council, I got one.
Change it.
Can
Okay.
we make that in our motion? Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna make a motion to approve amendment number 1 on the salary ordinance that added the chief deputy line and make sure the number of patrolmen is 10 in the salary ordinance amendment. So for the record, we have 1 sheriff, 1 chief deputy, 1 captain, 4 sergeants, 10 patrolmen, and 2 courthouse security deputies. My motion
Here.
for this year. Well, for this amended motion, we'll have that changed 20 more times this year, but for this motion, that's my.
Well done. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any questions?
did we agree to leave one sergeant position open, because I've only filled 3 of those.
You agreed to, you agreed not to fill a captain, not to fill a sergeant.
Okay,
Yes.
There's still 4 on here. You
Yes.
have 3 now. There's still.
Yeah,
one.
you still have one that you can promote, yes.
Of all the things I've been working with.
We're gonna uninvite the sheriff to these meetings.
Is there a second? Is there a second?
I need a second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? 7-0. All right.
That was bad.
You'll initial, everybody initial. On your back, please. Okay. Transfer requests. Statewide 911 Fund 1222 requests, out of series transfer, from 11002 communications officers in the amount of $5,000 into 35104 digital voice log maintenance. Out of series transfer.
So moved.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 7-0. Do we sign something out or is that just? That's it. Initial. All right.
Hey, it's me, those ones.
All right. So the next one's encumbrances. Encumbrances for 2022 into 2023. General fund non-payroll items, $239,483.72. General fund payroll items, you keep track of this for your motion. General fund payroll items, $81,437.35. General fund totals, $147,607.67. Non-general payroll items, $4,239.29. The ARPA funds carryover, $5,639,107.74 for a total of $6,111,875.77. It's different. Oh, it doesn't have the totals. Oh, it does. 611.
You tell Harvard.
Want to explain an encumbrance real quick? For our
Sure.
new council.
Tell them, Wendy.
You can take it up.
I'm sorry.
Explain
These
to the
are-
councilman.
These are expenses from last year. They're on last year's budget that are getting paid this calendar year. Is that correct?
Yes, our new software said that they did not feel that the encumbrances on every line was necessary. Christie and I talked and felt that this money was budgeted, so the only actual encumbrances we did was overtime. Or, well, the ambulance, because and I have a breakdown of what was paid that last week of December. And the board asked about it. So, but that's the only encumbrances, and it's for that last week of December 2022.
Basically, you have a bill, you have the money left over, the bill's not getting paid till January. We had to do advertising. Now we're encumbering that money to pay for the bill.
So it's no new money out of the. Just work goes off last year's budget.
So I'm gonna make a motion based on the numbers stated for the record to approve those encumbrances.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
7-0. Any other new business?
Oh, you always do it too.
I just want to give some updates on what the chamber's been doing and to invite you as elected officials to the bank just to celebrate some of our community progress. There are 2 open houses and ribbon cuttings that are happening in our community in the next couple of weeks. The first one being Tulip Tree. They have renovated their office in Fort Branch, and on February 22nd, it's a Wednesday, 11:01, I think, they're gonna have an open house and we'll have a ribbon cutting at that time as well. So, just to help them celebrate, they have done a lot in our community. They remodeled and purchased a building and remodeled down in Princeton. And so, just to help them. Also, Princeton Veterinary Hospital is having an open house and ribbon cutting on, March 4th. They have done a lot at their facility as well, have brought in quite a bit of expansion, so just to help them celebrate. Also, we will be having our annual political and legislative forum, March 18th. We are co-hosting that with the Gibson County Farm Bureau. They do a breakfast and it will be at night in Columbus. And they do have farm breakfast. It's $2, a great breakfast, so that starts at 6, the forum starts at 8. If you are an elected official already, and want to speak to give an update of what's going on, also if you are running for any office, please contact the chamber office to get on the agenda to speak or to just have a platform of some sort, so. Also, we are excited to announce that we have been doing a collaboration with 7 other chambers in our region to do a regional women's conference the past 2 years, and this year in September 29th, Gibson County will be hosting that regional women's conference. We have doubled in size the past 2 years, and hopefully we will double in size again this year. It will be out at the Gibson County Fairgrounds, the event center out there, and might have once it gets announced, the sponsorship opportunities and stuff like that. I hope that you guys can be willing and wanting to come to our conference, just women, sorry guys. I know, that conference.
So you.
Right. Sorry. And I just want to thank those that were involved in ARPA decision and the Go Gibson initiative that we have. And promote our county and awarding this. Thank you. Really quick.
Motion to adjourn.